Moira.
Hmm? Shouldn't you be working? What about those galley proofs?
I want to talk to you.
What?
Now, sit down. Now then, we're going to play detectives.
Oh, no.
Now, I've been thinking. This job was based on inside information. They knew exactly what they were after.
Peter, I don't want to talk about it, not anymore.
Why not?
I've been talking about it for 2 weeks. Policemen, carpenters, locksmiths. I'm talked out.
Will you please listen? Now then, we have security devices on all the downstairs windows, right? But upstairs we have nothing. Now, they knew that.
How do you know?
Because they didn't even try to get in downstairs.
All right, they knew.
So who told them?
Well, that we'll never know.
Oh, yes, we will.
How?
Because I'm going to find out. Now, I've been making a list of all the people who could have known. There's the builders, the odd job man, Mr. Thing.
Mr. King?
Yeah, all that sob stuff to you about not being able to raise a deposit. Probably living in a penthouse somewhere.
He looked like it.
There's the window cleaner.
But he never sets foot in the house.
Not even to fill his bucket?
Well...
Oh, come on, not once.
All right, don't snap at me. So he comes in here. Doesn't tell him much about upstairs, does he?
He spends half his time upstairs on his ladder. He knows exactly what goes on.
Peter, we've been over all this with the police. Let's leave it to them, please.
I'm sorry, but I can't. There's some bastards out there thumbing their noses at us, thinking what a couple of mugs we are. Prize bloody mugs.
Well, that's better than going around suspecting everybody.
Is it? Well, I don't agree. And then there's the greengrocer. I caught him in here the other week.
Caught him? He was delivering a quarter of mushrooms.
It doesn't matter. Everybody is guilty until proved innocent. And then there's the obvious one, the char.
Mrs. J.
Yeah.
Now, Peter, stop it.
Oh, come on.
I'm the one who has to face these people and work with them. It isn't fair.
Fair? When they came through that window upstairs, was that fair? They violated a basic right, and worse than that, they've changed our lives.
Rubbish.
No, it's true. You said yourself you'd never feel the same about this house, and now we're scared to leave it. Well, I want my eye for an eye.
Well, so do I. I just don't want it that badly, and I'm not going to make an obsession out of it.
I don't understand. You
Peter,
suddenly
no! Damn the money, damn the possessions! We've been burgled, it's a bloody nuisance. Now let's forget about it, please.
Ah. This would be where you kept most of the porcelain.
That's right, Sergeant. The mantelpiece and the cabinet.
They didn't touch your picture.
No.
Too bulky. And they didn't make much mess.
No, not really. They forced that door, smashed the cabinet, slashed a sofa, and kicked a hole in the bedroom door.
Ah, big mistake.
What is?
Never lock inside doors. Anything you can to keep them out, but when they're in, let them get on with it.
I'll remember.
All right. Morning, sir.
Ah, this is my husband. This is Sergeant Newman, our crime prevention officer.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Would you care for a cup of coffee, Sergeant? The percolator is still on.
No, thank you, Mrs. Astor. Perhaps I wouldn't say no to a drop of tea later.
Well, sit down, Sergeant.
Bit of bad luck, really, sir. But then it's a burglar's paradise tucked away up here.
Yeah.
As I understand it, you're quite secure downstairs, but upstairs, no.
Well, that's the first thing to be put right.
Like I said, you're sitting ducks. No neighbors. What about an alarm system? I've got some leaflets here I could leave with you. Choice is yours, obviously. But they're all reputable companies.
What would this cost, approximately?
Oh, a house this size? 300 or 400.
Who was it who said crime doesn't pay? I'd like to meet him.
One suggestion, sir.
Yeah?
Do you work at home?
Yes.
What is it you do exactly?
I'm a writer.
Oh, very interesting.
No, not that kind of writing. I write textbooks.
Oh.
You see, for 12 years I was a long-suffering schoolmaster. And then I decided to stop suffering and get my revenge. So I started writing textbooks.
Very successfully, too, by the look of it.
Yes, very, thank you.
You have an office here, then?
Well, a study.
Same thing. Why don't you rent an alarm, sir? Part of the rental would be tax deductible.
What is this, crime prevention or crime promotion?
Tax avoidance, not evasion, sir. And I'll leave you this brochure on window grills and collapsible gates, etc.
Thank you. Tell me, what chance have we got?
Of catching them?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really know much about the case, sir.
You can be honest.
Very little, I'm afraid. When I first came to this patch 10 years ago, we could have told you within 10 or a dozen names who'd done it. Now I'm afraid we've no more idea than you have.
So your colleague said. Well, why is that? What's the reason?
Well, we've all gone a bit soft, haven't we, now?
We? Who's we?
All of us. Police, courts, parents, schools. Nearly half the break-ins in London are done by under-17s. You know, we caught a jeweller in the town a few weeks ago. The one in the arcade. Please forget I said that, sir. Anyway, we caught him. Done more fencing than Errol Flynn. Stolen goods and £10,000 in £1 notes in his safe. Do you know what he got? £100 fine under lecture.
He's probably got my clock in there.
Could be. Well, what are you going to do, sir? They'll be back, you know.
You really think so?
Sure as little apples. Wait for you to spend the insurance money, replace the stolen stuff. 2 months at the most, bang. So what will you do, sir?
Well, I'm a bit divided at the moment between a 60,000-volt current and a sawn-off 12-bore.
I'd settle for the alarm if I was you, sir. Wired to the station, squad car here in 5 minutes, we do the rest.
You sure there's enough police to go around? I mean, you won't all be hanging about in Grosvenor Square.
No comment.
Well, we don't very often see anyone on the beat up here.
We are short of men, it's true, sir. But the cars are up to strength.
You know what I'd really like? My little fantasy. To catch them myself and then hand them over to you.
Well, I'm sure there'd be no objections from us, but I'd advise against it.
Why?
Your settee wasn't slashed by a fingernail. They might jump you. Think of all those textbooks that wouldn't get written. All that revenge going to waste.
Leave it to the professionals,
That's right, sir. You glance at those pamphlets. I'll check on the tea situation.
Sergeant, just a minute. Listen. If I was to fix one of these gates across there and another one across here, that would just about seal this room off, wouldn't it?
Easily.